So I'm gonna do this video a little different because honestly, when I recorded my last videos, it was so long. So I don't want to record too long of a video, but either way, me going through the whole process is gonna take a minute. I'm about to start putting stuff on while I'm talking. So this is Cetaphil. I'm very oily, so it's their oil absorbing moisturizer. I always start with that. As you can see, I have my brows on already, but like I was saying, the video can get really long depending on the look that I'm doing. Excuse that. She decided she wanted to come and be a part of my life, and I didn't really ask her to be a part of my life, but she's here, so it is what it is. But I'm going to do a talk through of the eyes, and then I'm gonna speed up the skin. If you want me to do like a skin focused video, I probably will, but I'll do that later. But today I'm just gonna focus on the eyes. And as you can tell, your girl is blind, so if you see me squinting, it's because I can't see. It is hot as hell out today though. Like, I went outside because today's trash day, and I had pulled the bins. This is primer, Smash box. I went and pulled the bin back in the garage, and your girl almost died. I didn't expect it to be that hot. And normally when I'm off, I don't go outside. I'm one of those people, like, nature is not for me at all. If you ask me to go outside or ask me to do something outside, I'm probably not coming. I don't like bugs. I don't like any of that. So don't invite me to go outside. Invite me to go to eat or the movies or something like that, but don't expect me to come outside. So I have to clean my brushes, so I'm gonna try out some brushes that I haven't played with much before, especially on my skin. My eyes, I'm pretty much gonna do the same. I do my brows using Dip Brow from Anastasia. I use the color Ebony, and then I used I rotate my concealers. So today I've used, what's it called, MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC45. So first thing I start with, most of the time, as you can see, I take the concealer from my brows and use that as like a base. But I'm doing kind of bright colors today, so I did that most of the way down, but I'm also going to use this P. Louise base. I used to not understand why YouTubers are sticking their hands behind stuff, but for real, like, you can't see, but then magically I put my hand behind it, you still can't see, but you can see a little bit better than you can before. So I like to use this brush too. This is a 286 brush from MAC. I did not know what this brush was for. I had one back in the day, like the old ones, because everything's synthetic now, so they're a little bit different. But I had one of these brushes back in the day, but I never realized how amazing they are. I literally can do a whole eye look with this brush. I do concealer under the eye. I just have like a at work I use like a spray, like a hygienic spray to kind of go in between, but I have this Sonia somebody, I don't know how to say her last name, but I have her spray to kind of clean off the product in between, because obviously putting this white base on, well, really light base. This is base number 2. I like P. Louise bases a lot. Like, I have a darker one that's closer to my skin tone, and I use that one a lot. A lot of times I actually use that to clean up my brows with, but I like this one when I'm doing like something really bright and I want the colors to pop. Okay, we're done. And this base works well, but like, do a lot of pressing. So even with your foundation, when you're putting that on, which I'll do a whole video on that, but you want to more like press. Like, I'm kind of blending the edges, but I'm pressing to get that coverage. Why am I listening to this? This ain't even better. So I like to use a base color. So I decided I'm going to do a cut crease today. I think that's one of the hardest things to do. So I'm gonna go over how to do that, or how I do it. And I like to start with, this is on everybody, I like to start with the kind of neutral shadow close to their skin. So this is Saddle from MAC. And it's really close to my skin tone. So I like it, honestly, even though this base you don't necessarily need a, like you don't have to set it with the powder. But I still like to. And I think it's just my preference. You don't have to, but I just feel like it makes everything blend better. When you put down some type of powder, like cream or something as a base, that's not necessarily like an eye primer that has any type of color to it, I feel like when you put this kind of neutral color, it just makes all the other powders blend on top of it easily. So like, look at that. It's very similar to my skin tone. And you could honestly build this to make a nice neutral look. I could not record without listening to music. Like, I have a whole setup over here. I'm like literally in front of my door to my house that has a window, so I have to like cover that so the light doesn't reflect funny. I have my laptop set up, everything. I wish I had more freckles. So that wraps that up. Just kind of creating like a nice little base for the rest of your shadow. I decided I'm gonna do a blue cut crease. So I'm using the Norvina Volume 1 palette, but it doesn't have a light blue. So I'm gonna use the dark blue for this one, and then I'm using the Juvias Place Masquerade palette for the lighter blue. I'm gonna do white as well, because I'm really obsessed with this white from the Norvina palette that I feel like I gotta use it every day. So I'm gonna start with this blue here in the crease. Well, no, actually, I lied. I'm gonna start with this brown, and then I'm gonna go in with the blue. So I kind of create a little bit of a line. I don't want to put too much because, like I said, the focus is gonna be the blue, and I don't necessarily want like a big contrast between blue and a different color. So just blend that out. Doing talk throughs are weird. I'm gonna do a talk through with my friends. How would y'all like that? Like, let me know if y'all would like me to bring like one of my friends and like talk to them while I'm doing makeup. I'm actually gonna do a video, and then we're gonna go with that blue, same spot, where I'm doing some friends' makeup. And I'm just gonna record while I'm doing that. I kind of don't want to do, like, I might do it with like some appointments, but that's too much work to where you got to get like their consent, and then I'm gonna be like kind of controlled on what I'm gonna do. Whereas if I'm just like having somebody come over, I can do whatever I want to do on them and teach whatever on them. Opposed to them, if you're a paying customer, obviously, I gotta do what you want. I try to do different like techniques. I watch a lot of, I don't even watch a ton of YouTube anymore actually. I watch a lot of Instagram videos, like even those quick ones, and I kind of try to learn from them on how to do certain stuff, or just even different ways to do it, because a lot of times when I do my cut crease, I do a lot of blending, but you know, it ends up coming all the way down here, opposed to some people, I've seen them where I did that first line where they're just like kind of carving out or using like a pencil. They'll use like a an eyeliner and kind of draw that and then buff it. This brush is new, so right now it's not extra fluffy, so I can kind of do this with it. But you just want to blend your crease. That's gonna be the gist of it, is blending. I feel like this is us already 11 minutes in. That's why I don't do talk throughs. But actually, this part shouldn't take too much longer because I'm actually I'm almost at the point where I'm cutting the crease. Now, the key to this is definitely layering. I always tell people it's easier to add more than it is to take away. So when you're going straight in and you're just like dumping on a ton of makeup, you're gonna have to start over. Like if you mess it up, you're gonna have to start from the beginning. So I always try to do like a little bit and then see what happens and then add a little bit more. So I'll let you see up close. I want to blend these edges, but I don't want to necessarily have blue all the way up. So I'm gonna go back in with that like brown burgundy-ish color. And then go up here and blend the edges. Now I know I look crazy, but just wait on it. Another thing is I like to start with, so the first thing I do for my makeup is eyebrows. I mean, obviously I tell people to always start like with your skincare, honey, because your makeup is gonna go on good based upon how you're taking care of your skin. I think people forget about that because they want the end result. Like that's all people think about is like, I want my skin to look like this, or I want my makeup to look like this. That's the thing I get the most is people like, I want my makeup to look like yours. And if they don't have really good skin, it's not gonna necessarily look like that. Like, no shade or any of that, but like honestly, I'm lucky. My parents have really good skin and they passed that on to me. So a lot of people will ask me like, what's your secret? What do you do? Nothing. I don't do anything out of the ordinary. The only reason I even like am focused on my skin now is because I wear so much makeup. If I didn't wear a lot of makeup, I honestly would not give much shit about my skin. Before I wore makeup, which was still a few years ago, because I've only been wearing makeup for like maybe 5-6 years, I would wash my face with a bar of Dove soap and it was fine. So I am the exclusion to the rule, like, but I still take care of my skin because if I'm constantly putting this stuff on it every day, it can affect it. So we're gonna go in with Revolution makeup. There we go. It's a cut crease base. Well, cut crease canvas is what it's called. I got the color Halo. I'm stupid. But I got the color Halo, which is white, pure white. It's almost like the paint stick I was using, but I didn't love the paint. So I like the paint stick, but I almost felt like it was too creamy, so sometimes it was hard to cut that crease really, really good with the paint stick. So I'm gonna have to play with it a couple more times. Where this is a lot thinner, so it'll move better. Because I'm learning with cut creases. I've tried a few different products, and so far my favorite has been honestly concealer. This is the similar consistency to a concealer, so it'll do kind of the same thing. A tip I have is to, let me not destroy this shadow. I done put the brushes on the shadow, and I got these long ass nails, and I'm scared to dig in them. So the trick with this is to load up your brush. So I put a good amount of product on the brush because it slides better. That's the whole thing you want it to do. Like, you can always fix it. You can always go back in with the blue and fix your line. But if it's thick and rough, sometimes it's harder to slide and you get like those jagged edges. So I'm gonna look. I gotta be quiet while I'm doing this. Y'all can watch me. But if I'm talking while I'm doing this, it's gonna be all bad. Look at God. Because sometimes it ain't that easy. So I like to start, now that I can talk, on the lid. And then kind of cut the crease a little bit. So even with this, because you want the coverage there, is you want to press. Baby, I'm leaving the house just like this. Just like this. I just did my hair. I did my hair for y'all. Because I was planning on recording this video and I completely forgot that I did not do my hair. And, you know, in these cases, you got to. Because that's the first thing somebody gonna say to me. Is, girl, your hair. So. Now, most of the time I don't cut it all the way through, so I don't care how the end looks because I'm about to put that blue all the way back through here. So honestly, it don't even matter to me. But it makes me sad though when you do cut creases because you do all that blending just to get rid of it. All of that blending. Now I'm scared to do the other side. Gucci and Walmart. That's what I call my brows. Gucci and Walmart. Now this actually does have like a cool little applicator brush, but I'm scared to use it. Like, I feel like it's almost too, I mean, I guess you could. But then I also, since I like to use it on other people too, I haven't tried it yet on anybody, but I want to be able to like use it for my kit or if somebody wants something like dramatic like this. So I just put it on my hand and work from there. And yes, my hands are clean. That's the first thing somebody's gonna try to be like, well, your hands can be dirty too. I just washed my hands. I have hand sanitizer sitting on the side. I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. Pray for me, y'all. I'm still in love. Okay, I'm done. Whew, I'm scared. It's real scared. So the only bad thing I don't like about this is I feel like it gets like patchy. But since I'm using white anyways, I don't even care. I'm just gonna go over it with a white shadow. And I'm gonna clean up my hands, actually. And next step is the fun step. So, important step. Clean your hands. Especially if you are like me and you tend to be accident prone. I'm that girl. Especially if I'm like dressed when I'm doing my makeup. Like sometimes I'll just be out here in like big old t-shirts that don't even matter. But sometimes I actually I look like something. So wipe your hands, because the last thing you want to do is be doing something and you get white somewhere on your clothes. You can get it right here, and then I'm gonna be mad because I'm not even going anywhere today. So when I get done recording this, I'm taking this off. I'm taking this right off, and I'm gonna put some pajamas on and chill with a beat face. Maybe I'll go to the grocery store, but not in this outfit. So after that, you want to take a little brush. This one is actually from Sephora. I had got it in, when I used to work there, I had got it in this kit. It was like a whole bunch of brushes in there, and I never used it for a while, but then I started doing like cut creases and stuff that might need a little precision area, because it's called Precision Shadow Brush. I started using it for like cut creases. Now we're gonna switch over to the Juvias Place Masquerade palette. Now the color I'm gonna use is this. Actually, I lied. We're gonna do white first, and then we're gonna switch over to that blue. I don't know why I thought I was gonna do blue into like darker blue, but I changed my mind. I'm a woman. I can change my mind as much as I want. So we're gonna go in with this white. This little cocaine color. I don't know what cocaine really looks like, but it sounded good. So press. Now when you're doing the cut crease, it can be annoying because that's all you're doing. It's just like pressing. Now see this? Why am I like this? Why am I like this? This is why you gotta wash your hands. Okay, back to normal. But this is the reason why I do my eyes first. Not that, because typically that's the first time that ever happened to me. And it's probably because I'm recording. In my real life, that don't happen to me, but because I'm on the spot and I'm trying to show you guys how to do something, that happens. But I like to do eyes first. Well, brows, eyes, and then skin. Just because if there's anything you have to clean up, a lot of times when you're blending those bold colors, sometimes you get fallout, depending on the type of shadow you're using. And if you don't know what fallout is when you are blending or putting on a shadow and then you get the little sprinkles under the eye. So this would be considered fallout. But that's the last thing you want to do, is like slay your whole face, then You turn around doing your eyes, and then boom, you got a sprinkle of purple under your eye. Now, a tip for that, if you prefer to do it the opposite way, that's fine. That's when I would suggest like baking. Baking is when you pack to set your concealer under your eye when you're packing a color on. So it could be, I use banana powder, so mine is more yellow, but it could be like a couple shades lighter than your skin tone, just to kind of brighten up a little bit. And that would when you're baking, so when you're blending your shadow, if there's any fallout, it's gonna fall more on that powder than anything. And then you won't have to worry about it staying there, because when you're done with when you're doing the baking, you just pack the powder on and then you sweep it off after it sets. So some people that do it the opposite way, they will have the setting powder to bake under their eyes, and then, you know, pull up, sprinkle, shake that off, and then you're good. So back to Juvia's Place. This one, so I did the white about, well, a third, almost half of my eye, and then I'm gonna do this to about close to the end, and then I'm gonna blend that blue that we used in here and the outer corner. So I'm not gonna use a mirror right now. Perfect. Okay, I'm done. And that's what the good of this brush is for, is you can get right where you want to get. Now, don't be fussing because this video is probably going to be like 32, 33 minutes. Because y'all asked me to do this. But now you see why I did my brows first. I will do a video with like my brow routine. Don't kill my vibe. I'm really funny in real life. I don't think I'm gonna be funny on this though. Now this is the hardest part when doing it, is because you want them to get even, especially since, you know, the front end's white. Now I try to blend, kind of going up and down. No, just go to the edges and kind of sweep it back and forth so it's not a straight up straight line. And then we're gonna go back in with that blue. I've been wiping my brush on like just a tissue in between colors. And then we can go back and blend later if necessary. And then take that color, that same little baby brush. And this is gonna blend easier because obviously they're both like blues. So it's gonna be easier to transition them. So since I'm just about done with this part, I'm going to put my liner and lashes on off camera, and then I'll come back and I'm gonna speed up the skin because I don't want to just go from this and then just nothing. So I'm gonna go pop those on because obviously this look needs some good lashes, and I'm dropping my birthday lashes. I'm dropping actually 3, so I'm gonna put on 924 because that's my birthday. If you didn't know. If you don't know, now you know. So I'm gonna go put my liner on, lashes on, and then I will be back with the skin and the end results.